Okay.
I just recently completed a short game clinic, and I thought it'd be best to give everybody a summary. So one of my students is videotaping this, so bear with me. It's impromptu. There's going to be some run-on sentences, some stammering. This isn't a professional production, but you'll get the gist. So, first thing we did was a base stock wedge shot. First thing I told them, get your ball position first. And what we want to do, we want to get it in the middle of the stance. Now we're going to open the club face up just a little bit. The reason why we open the club face up is because we want the bounce to rest on the ground, not the leading edge. Now when you open the club face up, the club's aimed to the right. People say, wait a minute, Tom, if it's aimed to the right, isn't it going to go this way? Well, if you look here, if you have a fairly decent path into the ball will actually run up the face on a diagonal if the blade's open. If it's closed, it's going to rebound and go left. Meaning this, if I'm right here and I'm going at Bruce, my famous cameraman by the way, if I get it this way, the path, that ball went towards Bruce. If I close that club face, the path is the same, the ball goes left. So that's why you want a slightly open club face when you're pitching. Now, secondly, we put it in the middle first and come in, because if you come in open like this, the ball position may not be where you think it is. If you come in open like this, it's like, oh geez, I'm hitting behind it and sculling and chunking it. Well, square your feet up. Where actually is that ball? Oh my gosh, it's 4 or 5 inches outside my left foot. How are you going to get to that? So what I'll do, get your ball position, then if you want to open up, you do it. So step, step, cha, cha, cha. There we go. Now, your hands are down, that club hinges up, we come on into the shot. Up we go, moving on through. And there's your pitch shot for you. This is my standard basic shot that I practice the most, and then we can do variations off of this. So step, step, open, here we are. And the other thing about this, I don't want you to guide it out towards the target. We're going to keep going around. So we're here, step, step. We're going to go around a little bit. So if I'm hitting at Bruce, my famous cameraman, if I go at him, I'm not going to go like this. The ball goes at Bruce, I'm going around a little bit. Don't force it around, but don't force it out towards him. Now, once we have this going, we can do a knockdown shot. And this is a very safe shot. So going again, step only. So we got the ball back in the stance. Let's get this tape off. You don't need to see this anymore. There we go. Lieutenant here. So anyway, we're here. Plays back in the stance. Now when you move the ball back in the stance, your grip's different. If you're up in here, in the middle, the shaft's got a mild lean. When it's back, it's got a greater lean. So there's no way you're going to grip the club the same with the shaft at those two angles. So when it's back, your hand's over more. And that's how you're going to hit a knockdown shot. You're here, you come back, and you move forward. And now I can take the 60 degree, get it really low. It has that skidding on it, okay? Skids to a stop. One way you want to use this knockdown shot is, let's say we're going to that first flag. This is a really good spot to use it. You knock it down into the apron, grabs it, and it trickles on. That way you don't have to be so good and go, oh, I've got to hit this up onto the green and hope it stops and spins. But yeah, you can knock it down like this. Long grass grabs it, trickles onto the green. Very, very safe shot. Then we talked about bump and runs. Now bump and run and a knockdown have the exact same trajectory, it's just a different club. So if you knock the ball down here and you try to run all the way up to the hole, you might grab and check there, okay? So what we got to do now, and they always talk about in chipping, you want to reduce your wrist cock. That's true, but I don't want you to set up with your hands down and then try not to use your wrist. So what we'll do is we'll take the wrist cock out, or the wrist right away. So if you're here on a pitch shot, you're here. So what we'll do is we'll just move these hands up and get rid of that right from the get-go. Because this is going to be real quick and too much acceleration. So now same thing, middle of your stance. Now open your feet up. ago. Now with your hands up, now you got this one lever type motion in here. And now don't try and get underneath the ball. Just scrape through there. See, that one runs out. Isn't that? So when your hands are high, the ball's low. And when your hand's low, the ball's high, unless it's a knockdown. So we'll see this. Low hands, high shot. Risky as all get out. We're by the edge of the green, and I'd like to tell you people, when you're practicing your short game, practice the shot you're working on, not the situation. I'd be a fool to hit that shot here. I would always hit this up, hands up, bump and run shot, and run it across the green. Much safer. Now, when you get into longer grass, like this is that same basic intro stock pitch shot we hit, but when you got grass in here, all good players know how to have grass smash on the club face between the ball and the club face. What I mean by that is people sometimes in this situation, they try and get clean glove to ball contact and they either top it and skull it along the ground, or they try and get underneath it and they do one of those. So when you're in this situation, get that fried egg, get that thing down in there a little bit. What you want to do, have that club face slightly open. There's a wall of grass behind that ball. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit into that wall of grass. The ball pop out. Doesn't have quite as much spin on it, but it works. And when you do this properly, you're there. If you look here, see the grass tattooed on the club face. So there was grass between the club face and the ball. You just have to practice that and know how to do that and get the right touch and feel out of that. But if you're trying to get underneath,